Cleopatra VII Philopator, the last active ruler of the Ptolemaic Kingdom of Egypt, is one of history's most fascinating yet misunderstood figures. She wasn't just a queen, she was a strategist, a linguist, and a master of political intrigue. Known for her intelligence, ambition, and legendary romances with Julius Caesar and Mark Antony, Cleopatra was a ruler who defied expectations and fought fiercely to protect Egypt from the ever-expanding power of Rome. But behind her beauty and power lay a life filled with danger, betrayal, and a tragic fate that would change history forever. Now let's uncover the extraordinary journey of Cleopatra, the last queen of Egypt. Born in 69 BCE into the Greek Ptolemaic dynasty, Cleopatra was no ordinary ruler. Unlike her predecessors who ruled Egypt without speaking its language, Cleopatra fully embraced Egyptian culture, presenting herself as the reincarnation of the goddess Isis. She was fluent in multiple languages, skilled in political diplomacy, and even an expert in creating perfumes. She was also deeply conscious of her beauty, famously bathing in milk daily and indulging in strange rituals, such as dissolving pearls in vinegar before drinking it, believed to enhance her charm and mystique. After the death of her father, Ptolemy XIII, Cleopatra was forced into co-rulership with her younger brother, Ptolemy XIV, whom she married at the age of 18, as per Egyptian royal custom. However, this was no marriage of love, it was a political arrangement. Cleopatra wanted complete control, and her growing influence alarmed the royal advisors. In 48 BCE, they conspired against her, forcing her into exile. But Cleopatra was not one to accept defeat. She sought a powerful ally, Rome, and to secure it, she set her sights on none other than Julius Caesar. Determined to reclaim her throne, Cleopatra orchestrated one of the most legendary encounters in history. Knowing that approaching Julius Caesar openly would be impossible, she had herself smuggled into his palace, rolled up in a carpet. When the carpet was unrolled before Caesar, out emerged Cleopatra, draped in royal garments, her presence commanding and her wit sharper than a sword. Caesar was captivated. More than her beauty, it was her intelligence, confidence, and political cunning that impressed him. He agreed to support her claim to the throne, leading to a civil war against her brother Ptolemy XIII. The war culminated in the siege of Alexandria, where Caesar's forces emerged victorious. Ptolemy XIII drowned in the Nile while trying to escape. With her brother gone, Cleopatra was restored as queen. To solidify her position, she married her younger brother, Ptolemy XIV, but she held the true power. Cleopatra and Caesar became lovers, and in 47 BCE, she gave birth to a son, Ptolemy XV, better known as Caesarion, believed to be Caesar's child. Their relationship was not just romantic, it was strategic. With Caesar's support, Cleopatra envisioned a grand empire where Egypt and Rome would rule together. However, their relationship was controversial in Rome. Caesar was already married to Calpurnia, and Romans saw Cleopatra as a foreign queen who held too much influence over their leader. When Caesar brought Cleopatra to Rome in 46 BCE, she was met with hostility and suspicion. Many feared that Caesar would divorce Calpurnia and make Cleopatra his queen, a move that threatened the Roman Republic's foundations. Before this could happen, fate intervened. On March 15, 44 BCE, Julius Caesar was assassinated in the Roman Senate, stabbed 23 times by conspirators, including his once loyal friend Brutus. Cleopatra, now vulnerable without Caesar's protection, fled back to Egypt with her son. But she knew her fight for power was far from over. In the wake of Caesar's death, Rome was thrown into chaos. His assassins were challenged by his loyalists, leading to a new power struggle. Eventually, Rome was divided among three rulers: Octavian, Caesar's adopted heir, Mark Antony, one of his top generals, and Lepidus. Mark Antony, ruling the eastern provinces, summoned Cleopatra to Tarsus in 41 BCE. But Cleopatra, ever the strategist, did not simply obey his command. She made an entrance that would never be forgotten. Dressed as the goddess Aphrodite, Cleopatra sailed to Tarsus on a golden barge with silver oars, accompanied by servants dressed as nymphs and cupids. The air was filled with exotic perfumes. Mark Antony, known for his love of luxury and revelry, was instantly enchanted. Their romance was one of passion, politics, and power. Mark Antony saw in Cleopatra a queen who could provide him with wealth and military support. Cleopatra saw in him a powerful Roman leader who could help her maintain Egypt's independence. Mark Antony and Cleopatra's relationship scandalized Rome. Not only was Antony already married, he was married to Octavia, the sister of Octavian, future Emperor Augustus. Their union was meant to keep peace in Rome, but Antony's affair with Cleopatra shattered that bond. Then in 32 BCE, Antony made a shocking declaration. He officially married Cleopatra in an Egyptian ceremony and declared their children as heirs to various eastern territories. This was seen as treason in Rome. Octavian seized the opportunity to turn public opinion against Antony, accusing him of abandoning Rome for a foreign queen. The final confrontation was inevitable. On September 31st BCE, the forces of Octavian clashed with Antony and Cleopatra's fleet in the Battle of Actium, one of the most decisive battles in ancient history. The battle ended in disaster for Antony and Cleopatra. Seeing defeat was imminent, Cleopatra retreated with her ships, and Antony followed. A year later, in 30 BCE, Octavian's army invaded Egypt. Trapped in Alexandria, Antony received false news that Cleopatra had died. Heartbroken, he fell on his own sword. As he lay dying, Cleopatra rushed to him and he took his last breath in her arms. Cleopatra knew she would soon be captured. Octavian planned to take her to Rome as a war trophy, but Cleopatra refused to be paraded as a defeated queen. Instead, she chose to die on her own terms. On August 10th, 30th of BCE, Cleopatra adorned herself in royal robes, lay upon a golden couch and allowed an asp, venomous snake, to bite her, at least according to legend. Some believe she drank poison instead, as she was known to be meticulous about her appearance and would not have wanted a disfiguring death. With Cleopatra's death, Egypt fell under Roman control, marking the end of the Ptolemaic dynasty and the beginning of the Roman Empire. Cleopatra's life was a tale of power, love, and sacrifice. She was a ruler who defied conventions, a strategist who played the game of politics like no other, and a woman whose legacy has endured for over 2,000 years. Her life may have ended in tragedy, but her story remains immortal. If you enjoyed this epic tale, don't forget to like, share, and subscribe for more legendary stories from history. Thanks for watching.